Hello, everybody. Nick Morganson, Izzy Richardson, Nick and Izzy. Late night with Nick and Izzy, 11:05 p.m. on the East Coast, 8:05 on the West Coast, and whatever other coast you're listening on.
wait. What you said? Whatever coast you're listening on.
Whatever coast, whatever country, whatever province you're listening to. Welcome to the Nick and Izzy show.
Welcome. How are you? It definitely is late night too. What time is it? 11:06. Oh my gosh.
So there's a lot to talk about. Izzy and I were talking about this before we were coming on. But before we get to all the fun, obviously, as we say every week, Izzy and I work at 77 WABC Radio in New York. So politics is always going to be, unfortunately, since we're in the election cycle, going to be in the news. But
oh, yes, it is.
So over the past couple of weeks, the COVID craze has hit the White House. And we saw our president get it. We saw Melania get it. We saw Hope Hicks, who was in his party. Because you and I haven't talked since that whole thing happened. But
yeah, no, we haven't actually. And isn't that so crazy, like how all of them like have it now? I mean, it's just like, well, you know, I got to tell you guys a story about this though. Because I work at a supermarket. I'm not sure if, because I know we have some new people. And by the way, actually, thank you to all the new people that liked our Nick and Izzy page. Actually, welcome to our crazy lives. We are two coworkers that we always have something wild freaking happening though. And I'll tell you though, I have this one guy at my job. See, he's a very nice person. I love him to pieces. And he's one of our customers though, but he was freaking riled up. When I mean riled up though, like he came yesterday into the store yelling, and he was just like, you know, I gotta tell you, that freaking Donald Trump and stuff like that, like he didn't have no freaking coronavirus. Like he lied, because every single time that you watch his doctors, when they get asked questions about if he had COVID or not, they always dodge it and they always say something about like, well, yeah, you know, this symptom happened and that symptom happened, and then he just went completely off. Like he like went off on me, and I looked at him and I was like, holy moly. He was just like, it ain't about no daggone Democrat and freaking Republican. He's putting his hand up in the air, getting all excited, and he's just like, I'm so angry at all these people. I woke up really all pissed off this morning and stuff like that, and I can't stand all this. I haven't seen nothing like this in my entire life. And I'm just like, okay. Whoa.
It's amazing.
I was like, woo.
It's amazing some of the people, and Izzy's told me these stories in the past, who he runs into at Wegmans. And I mean, I don't want to tell, since you want to tell the crazy de Blasio story quickly before we go further on here?
Oh yeah, we had this one guy. Let me tell you something. This was like, I would say right when we were in like month number 2 of the pandemic, because the tri-state area has been crazy with this whole like craziness with the pandemic. And we had this one guy, because, you know, I was just walking on my phone one day and I just got a notification and it said something about like Bill de Blasio is live. And this guy next to me, this random customer, he must have just automatically heard me say it. And he was just like, oh, he's a freaking idiot and stuff like that. He thinks he's all big and bad and stuff like that, thinking he knows how to run Manhattan. Get the F out of here. He's such a freaking dummy and a effing jackass. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. I was like, dude, I said, people have freaking
crazy.
Yep. Nick, I'm telling, it's full, guys. Like, I just, like, please just be careful out there, because I have seen some stuff. It's gonna get ramped up even more, because we're only like we're about 2 weeks away from November 3rd. And I mean, just be careful out there, because some of these people have gone completely loony, and like some of those guys have.
Wait a minute, is that 8 months? November 3rd is gonna be 8 months or whatever since the pandemic has like officially like taken over this country?
I think so, yeah.
Holy, you know what's. I mean, this pandemic has been crazy. Izzy and I have been running back and forth to the radio station, doing what we can. And actually, we had a very important coworker who almost got COVID inside of our radio station.
Yes, we did.
So it's public information, so I can talk about it. There was a lot of speculation going around that former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who does a show on our radio station, was around President Trump, who caught COVID, and he's been tested like 3-4 times and passed, so he's fine now. But
yeah,
that was a little bit of a scare inside the radio station for a little while.
My goodness, yes, it was. Because let me tell you guys something, though. It's been, I mean, you know what's actually kind of crazy, too? See, I got to tell you this, though. And if there's a cop listening right now, you guys can definitely, I know you might get me for this. So I had no idea about this until a couple of months ago. But I have to renew my license, though. And I said to myself, I was just like, oh, that's not good because, and then also I got to get my inspection done. But the DMV in New Jersey, guys, has been so out of control. That's actually a whole day event now. Like that went from going there for like maybe an hour or two to standing in line for like 6 to 8 hours. Like you have to like take off a day to go there and just wait in line for anything you need there, though. And the thing is that like, I don't know exactly how they're doing it now, but you might have to wait in like 7 different lines at motor vehicles. And then what they did in New Jersey too, I read earlier that they closed down about 7 of them now because at 6 of their locations, at least one person at each location contracted COVID or contacted it now. So now it's all shut down. And now that's even worse for the other ones that are open because now the lines are going to triple in size.
Well, it's funny that you say that, talking about lines, because we're talking about in-person voting, which is the big topic of controversy or conversation, whichever way you want to put it. I don't know if you saw it, Izzy, in the news, like that people are waiting outside in line, socially distanced, 6 feet away from one another. And it's crazy. That's why I did my absentee ballot and got that over with. But it's just funny seeing people. I don't know if it's funny or a little scary, a little bit of both, that people are waiting in lines for hours from daylight to sunset so that they could vote in person. Come on.
You know what I think it is too, brother? I think like a lot of it's like, I mean, me personally, like I would rather vote in person than the ballot, only because like I just been seeing so many different things like about like these ballots getting lost and people throwing them in the garbage. Like I've seen stuff like that. I've seen workers actually that have thrown those ballots in the garbage if you voted for Joe Biden, because some of those people just can't stand it. I've seen people light them on fire too. And I think that's what's
there was a mailman who got indicted for throwing away like hundreds of thousands of votes that were supposed to be for Trump in the garbage can.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the
and I don't mean to laugh because people can say, "Oh, well, you political hack." I'm not being a political hack. I'm just pointing out what happened. Like,
you have to do it. I mean, we have to laugh at this stuff. I think because honestly, it's just that's how guys. This is how crazy people are getting. Though, I mean, like. I can't even, because see, I only have like, I'm not really a political person, but like I talked to like a few people like you about this, and one of my brothers, Keith, down the street, because I really can't talk to everybody about certain topics like this because they get freaking out of control. And it's just like, you have to just laugh at this stuff though, because it really is kind of sad though and serious at the same time. But it's just like, I mean, and I think that's what's really messing with like a lot of people's minds too. I mean, I would rather cast my vote in person though, because some people have said like if you can go to the supermarket and get food and stuff, you can go cast your vote, and some people don't want to do that, which I totally understand. So I don't know, it's just so craziness, and we just, we need a lot of world peace. We need to be able to go back out and have a lot of fun again. Isn't that right?
See, I don't know if it's that simple, because people say, oh, well, if I can vote, then I can go, well, or if I can go into the supermarket like you said, or if I can go eat in a restaurant, I should be able to go vote in person. And you know what? And you know what the real secret is people are, it's more Trump say, oh, I think voter fraud is coming. And if we do mail-in ballots, then it was voter fraud. Well, whenever you do anything over the mail or automatically, whether through machine, there's always a chance for error. Always. No machine is perfect, right?
Oh yeah.
So
definitely, yeah.
basically, Izzy and I, in the weirdest way, can't wait for this election cycle to be over.
Oh, we can't because I mean, it guys, it has been like so out of control. I mean, I just can't wait until because you know what we really need though? We everybody I feel like needs a vacation now. Like we need so much love. Like we just need to like I wish I'm gonna give you a hug right now through the camera. Give me a hug, boy. And see, we need to laugh like that, guys. You really do though.
Where your comedy? Where your comedy when we come on and do your show? And unfortunately, I know we're talking politics, but we do it in a way that's kind of funny and ridiculous and stupid at times. But I see a comment came in also.
Oh yeah, we a comment actually did come in, and there goes my sister Gina. Oh, that's one of my sisters from Wegmans. How are you tonight, sis? She said, "Hey Izzy," with the little hearts and the smiley face. And Gina, mwah, Izzy loves you so much, and I miss you so much too. I missed our talks at the store. Oh, me and her had some great talks.
You know what's interesting to me? There's a app on the iPhone that I really like called Bitmoji. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh yeah.
And like I see people using the smiley faces and the thumbs up. You and I use that thumbs up emoji a little too much at times. But like I'll go on the Bitmoji and I send pictures and I got mine to like really look like myself. Have I ever sent you a Bitmoji of myself before?
I don't think you have actually. That's so funny that you say that because I know people that like that's all they text now is emojis. Like some people don't even text like regular words anymore. You ever talk to somebody that's like that?
I have, and I said to them, "Hello, use words, please. Real words, please. I'm begging you. This is not a real conversation." You know what? I'm about to. And wait 1 second. I'm 27 years old and I'm about to talk like an old hag. So hang with me here. I can't stand the conversations with all the emojis and the one I hate the most, and you're going to laugh at this, is the eggplant. I can't stand that one.
You don't like that one?
Because you know what it symbolizes.
I know. That one and the peach. So, you know, those two are actually kind of both, well, I'm sure you guys probably know what.
Yes,
so
come on now. If you don't know what the peach emoji is, then you need to go back to school on emojis on texting. Yes, that's my rant for today. Okay, now we can move on from that.
Yeah, they pretty much both mean body parts, and they both kind of mean. Okay, I can put it this way, actually, though, to not get too wild, though. But if you put on a slow jam song and start texting somebody that though, I wanna get freaky, and put stuff like that on, you'll know. They'll know exactly what it is, though. And by the way, hi, Kai and Gilmore. How are you? My cousin's on the check-in. Oh my God, all my friends are checking in tonight, actually. So yeah. And you know, I actually just happened to look over to my right over here.
Yeah.
And this pillow, I don't even know if we should.
Oh no, please. We're two Jets fans sitting here, and wait a minute. Let's give partial credit here. Both New York teams are 0-5.
But you see, the good thing about that though is that Giants fans can't freaking crap on us right now and say that they're better.
Well, wait. I have good news though about the Jets. They finally released Le'Veon Bell. My opinion, one of the worst running backs. Really put me in a bad mood because he was supposed to come in and save the day for the New York Jets, and then just totally craps on the entire team. Oh, and even better, I think it was last season that he was sick, air quotes sick, if you can see me here, and he decided to go bowling when he was sick on the night that he didn't play. So, yeah, goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. Sorry.
Let me tell you something, guys. People get really like. I actually have not watched a single Jets game this year because I have Nick. I just after the first game that we lost by that much, I was like, dude, I can't.
You don't want to
bad.
You don't want to see an 0-5 football team just keep failing upwards.
I'll never forget. Like I remember the one time I was actually at a bar once, and it was like actually this was a couple years ago.
By the way, I take the under on that statement. You're definitely not at a bar once. I'll say that right now. Continue.
Oh yeah, not once. That was multiple times. But but I was actually at a bar once, and I happened to be there. Like I think I was with like two other friends. And let me tell you guys, because there's like some really extreme like sports fans out here. Because this one guy, he had like the Jets hat on in the bar. I think this was at Buffalo Wild Wings. He had like his Jets jacket on. He had like green. He was greened out with everything though. Like he actually.
Oh no, he was one of those fans. Oy.
And when I tell you though, like this was what his reaction was. Like when we were at like a final play, a couple minutes left in the game, and we had to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to really get this though. And this guy was like holding his freaking ears, and his eyes were getting big looking at the screen. And he was just like, oh my gosh. Like, you know how it gets so serious sometimes to where like you start moving your hands on your chest in different areas, and you're like holding somebody else so, and you're looking at the screen to make sure that they don't mess nothing. And then make sure, and you pray to God, like, please, Lord Jesus, make sure they get to this freaking goal line and that 2-point conversion. So
there's a great commercial. There's a great commercial if you've seen it at Buffalo Wild Wings, actually, where they have somebody that they call from the Buffalo Wild Wings phone, and then there's someone at the field that's controlling like the sprinklers, so they go off, so it trips the player, so that they could stay at the bar longer, so the game goes to overtime, so that they don't have to go home. That's kind of like that, where people are so superstitious to the point where they don't go to the bathroom or they don't move from the couch. My favorite is the Super Bowl.
Oh,
people
God,
do that.
So funny.
With the Super Bowl boxes, where people are, oh, my score's up there. We're 2 minutes away from the end of the quarter. I'm going to win. Wait, I can't move. And I'm like, oh, no, please. Don't do that. And by the way,
gosh.
And we've had Super Bowl boxes, Super Bowl pools at WABC. I don't know if you took part in them, Izzy, but I got to take part in them. Some of them are crazy. But I was just like, holy crap, people take this game so seriously. By the way, just to go off on a little bit of a sports tangent here, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL, really has handled this whole COVID situation poorly. I mean, have you seen the Tennessee Titans who've had 23 positive tests, for crying out loud? Seriously.
It's crazy.
And I did this on my other Facebook Live sports show, Empty the Bench, that I just crapped all over Commissioner Goodell in such a way that I was just like, Roger, you need to step up or I'm going to start a Fire Roger Goodell campaign. Seriously. I'm not even afraid. I'm just going to, all right, we're just going to fire Roger Goodell now. Let's go.
Oh.
They're the only sport that decided to not play in a bubble. NBA played in a bubble. MLB's now playing in a bubble. The NHL played in a bubble.
Yeah, that is true, though.
So now the NFL is like, oops, after the fact. Now that we have all these positive tests and all this BS going on with the NFL, well, we want our money. We need all our money or else we're not going to succeed.
Oh my gosh, and they have so much money too. Like that's like the other like thing that's been going on as well. It's like I don't even know. I mean, like that's one thing that's been so crazy with just everything that's been happening in this world though, is just like a lot of like money issues and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I was just like, I don't even know. It's just we need okay, you know what we need to really do though? We need to get like on a cruise ship, like all of us over and just go away somewhere around the freaking country though for at least like 2 months.
Safely and socially distanced.
Yeah, unless COVID's completely over. I mean, if COVID's completely over, then we can go back to like, hugging each other and everything. But I don't know.
Just to finish that, and then we'll move on to a story you and I found funny. Do you have? I know this number because I looked it up. How much do you think the NFL on average makes every year?
I think like $2 billion, right? Or maybe 5?
No.
Really?
They make about $16 to $17 billion a year.
Really? But they probably lost a lot though, right? Like with everything that's been going on with and everything.
They're one of their biggest sponsors is beer, Budweiser.
Yeah, because people go there. And
didn't you work in the Meadowlands as a concession? You would know that.
I did, yeah. So I used to actually be one of the food vendors. So I was actually one of the people that to where like when you go to sporting events and then like you have the people that come down with a little bag over their shoulders.
Oh, you wore the box. You wore the square box, right?
Yeah. Yep. I was the person that wore the score. Oh, excuse me. See, sometimes when I talk and stuff, like, stuff kind of gets like caught up in my throat though. And it's just so funny. I'm sorry, excuse me. I almost burped too. And my classic burps. I burp a lot too, by the way. And
just keep digging that hole. You'll get to the end of it eventually.
Eventually it will. But yeah, no, I used to be a food vendor at MetLife Stadium, and I used to go around and like hold up the little sodas and be like, "Hey, get your $2 and $5 soda." I wish it was $2, but
yeah, I was gonna say
$5 each.
If that soda is $2 at any New York stadium, you better get 5 of them and be happy.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you know what's funny? I actually like when I was working there. I remember like I was vending for Hot 97 Summer Jam. And that was crazy because that's like because Hot 97 Summer Jam is like a huge concert that like Hot 97 in New York, one of New York City's radio stations holds each year at MetLife Stadium. And they have artists like Mary J. Blige, and they have Funkmaster Flex, who's one of the DJs on their station every night. He goes on there and he hits his bombs, and Joe Jackson, what up, brah? And does all his stuff out there. And and you have all their personalities up there. You have like Meek Mills and Chris Brown was on the stage, and you have a whole bunch of cool artists, hip hop.
They're pulling out all the stops.
Oh yeah, hip hop and R&B artists. Now, see, here's the thing: there's usually a lot of state troopers because they let you on the field for that at MetLife Stadium, but you have to pay more money to get on the field though instead of the stand. But I remember one time I walked on the field and I went around the corner, and I went to this one crowd of people that they were kind of, they were doing their thing and stuff like that. They were smoking a lot of marijuana. They had their own beer and stuff that they brought in from outside, which I don't know how they got away with that.
How they got it in there without it being caught.
Yeah, but the cops, they can't really, they're not going to arrest everybody for that.
Well, wait a minute. That reminds me of the $50 mask fine that they're not enforcing here in the city right now. Thanks, Mayor Big Bird.
Oh yeah. People, I think, were fighting that and stuff like that. They were just like, "You're gonna try that damn $50? Then I'm mad. Don't even start." But I mean, it's just
they're probably too high to figure it out.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, it was just like, because I'll tell you though, guys. One thing about it though, like I remember when I went to this one section, and I think a lot of the people were like feeling pretty nice off the marijuana because this one guy saw me. And he was like this, actually. He was talking to his friend. He saw me out of the blue, though. And the second he looked at me, he was like, could I have a water, actually? Could I have a water? Could I have a water? And I gave him a water for $5. And then his girl next to him was just like, oh, get me a water, too. And then somebody else above them was just like, oh, get all 5 of us water. So I made out like a freaking band.
Oh, you were making sales.
Oh, dude, I worked for 4 hours and I made freaking like $150 of commission that day. And I was over there counting my money. And I'm just like, let me see, 1 Benjamin, 2 Benjamin, 3 Benjamin, 4 Benjamin. I was freaking enjoying that one. I was having so much fun. And I was just like, and at the end of the day, I looked at my friend Kathy, and I was just like, Kathy, you want to know something? I like concerts.
You're not liking concerts right now, I'll say that much.
Oh, yeah, no, there's nothing going on right now. It's funny because a lot of places actually, like Madison Square Garden, I saw like on the outskirts, because MSG actually has it to where a lot of the venues have it to where like they advertise outside on the big screens. And I've been seeing that a lot of artists are booking already for 2021 to go back out there and do their tours. So I'm hoping that, we'll be able to, hopefully COVID will be down so we can actually really, go back out there and have fun at, because I haven't been to a concert since like Hot 97's like Summer Jam. But
I mean, heck, I don't know if you're going to see concerts anytime soon, because I hope this is fake, but they're saying there's probably going to be a second wave on this whole COVID-19 virus. But I don't know. I'd like to get out and go to restaurants and see friends and everything. But it just reminded me, because I have to tell you the funny story that I told you with my nephew, though. So we were out today, but I didn't tell you guys, I have a bum back tonight, which, yes, because as I told Izzy, and Izzy can relate to this whole situation. is that when you're sleeping in the bed for 7 or 8 hours and you don't move and you literally just get stuck in one position because you're just so tired that you don't move. So all of a sudden I woke up this morning and I moved one way and I was like, I'm like, oh no, it's going to be one of those type of days. And I was like,
oh boy,
I was like, oh crap, this is not good. And I remembered that I was going with my my young nephew, 2-year-old nephew,
right?
And to the beach with my sister-in-law and my mother. And I said, oh God, I got to make sure I'm able to move and be able to function, because I was chasing my nephew on the playgrounds at Tobay and which one was it? Tobay Beach or Jones Beach? One of the two. I always get those two confused. But I think they're in the same place, just different jurisdictions. But anyway,
right.
So we're on the playground and I'm chasing him around and I'm not feeling anything because I took Tylenol beforehand. And just so people don't go into the comments and ask me, was I wearing a mask? Yes, I was wearing a mask. I don't want to hear any BS from people who say to me, well, oh, you went out in public. Did you wear a mask? Yes, I wore a mask. I don't want to hear from the BS people who say to me, did you wear a mask? Of course I wore a mask, because I'm trying to be safe out there. So I'm chasing him around. And then my nephew's so cute. And he says, sand. And I'm like, oh no. And I'm like, I guess we're going over to the beach side. So we move the car, we go down to the beach, and we go up on the boardwalk. There's really no one there.
Right.
And all of a sudden he's like, sand. All right. So now I'm not wearing sandals or anything. So I have to take my shoes and my socks off. And I have to, and he takes my sister-in-law takes his off, and I have to carry him down the ramp because we don't want him getting anything on his feet. So we get down. So we get down on the sand, and it's just like, run. I'm like, no, you can't run. And I'm like, no, we can't lose you today. We can't lose you. So after we got done with all that, it was a great day. Don't get me wrong. I like spending time with my nephew and taking him out.
Definitely. Kids are amazing. And I'll tell you another story too about somebody that I know.
But I'll let you tell. But in the end, I come home, my back is like completely out now.
Oh no.
And I'm like, crap. And excuse me, that I got to figure out how to get through this whole. I'm walking around, and it's one of those things like where every once in a while you feel that pain go down your back.
Right.
It's not the typical like my back aches, whatever. It's just every random moment you feel like your back twitches when you feel that pain. And it's just like, oh God. Okay. So actually I'm still feeling that pain now as I'm sitting here, but whatever. But what's the story you
got? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gotta love kids though. I mean, because I remember like my mechanic shop that I go to, actually, it's a great place still. If you guys ever need your car fixed, AC Automotive up there in Newfoundland, New Jersey. Oh, child, let me tell you something.
Wait, a free promo right there.
Oh yeah, Brian does an amazing job. Brian and Russ, love him to death. And his son is the most adorable kid ever. Because I remember like he started showing me his book of all his drawings, like when I walked in there, because I was sitting down last week getting my car fixed, and all of a sudden it was just like when I got in there, he looked over at me and he started smiling, and he was just like, hi, could I show you something? And I was just like, yeah. And I told him, I said, I've been coming to your dad to get my car fixed for the last like 10 years. I said, your father, I love him to death and he's awesome. And he's like, oh my God, that's amazing. So he started showing me about all these different pictures that he drew, and he was making up his own words. Like he was calling the fire hydrant like just the water spigot or the water savior. And I was just like, is this so interesting how like kids come up with like their own words? Because we were talking about making words up, and I was just like, I gotta tell you, Aiden, I said, I make words up all the time myself too. Well, at least my family does though. Because my grandmother used to call like Wendy's Wendy. Like she would make up her own like little words. Like she would be like, yeah, you can just go down there and get me one of those Wendy burgers or whatever it is from Wendy's. And I was just like, you mean the hamburgers or the double stacks? And she's just like, yeah, just whatever that damn Wendy burger is. And then she used to say, like, you can go down there. My grandmother used to never pronounce stuff like all 100% correct all the time, because she used to say to me, she used to pronounce like mayonnaise like magnaise with a G, and she used to say McDonald's. She was like, Isaiah, let me ride down with you to that daggone McDonald's. And she would always, her head would always go up to, she would like, let me go down there with you to that McDonald's so we can get some of that food. Like, her energy would pop. Her energy would really get high when she would like talk about like certain foods. And then she would say, like, how, and I got to tell you, I miss Blimpie a lot because there's not too many of those around.
Man, I haven't heard that store name in a long time.
Oh yeah, dude. And I mean, my grandma used to call Blimpie. She would like, run down there, Isaiah. Let me give you this $20 and $50 bill. You get whatever you want, baby, and I'm gonna get something for me. And get me one of them daggone Blimpie's best sandwiches. Blimpie's. Get this. She didn't call it Blimpie. It was Blimpie's best sandwiches. Mary Swan's own words. God rest her freaking soul.
I gotta tell you though, that like my parents said that I would pronounce certain things in a weird way. So apparently when I was a kid and we went to Disney, I told you we did that as a family trip like 14 or 15 years in a row. Apparently when I was really young, I used to say Disney, not Disney. I'd say Disney.
Really?
And I didn't know it for the longest time. And they still make fun of me to this day that I used to say that. And I don't even remember it, but or like we had a road near us also, and when I was really young also, there's a road called Manana Hill Road, and apparently when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I called it Banana Hill Road.
Oh my god.
And I'm just like, and that's why I totally get it when you said like mayonnaise. That one made me laugh. And I would just
I used to pronounce stuff wrong too. I used to call chicken fajitas chicken fajitas because I used to always think I used to never know. I used to be like, Mommy, can we have chicken fajitas tonight? And then one day she was like, fajitas. I was like, yeah, chicken fajitas. She's like, oh, you mean chicken fajitas, like the stuff you put in the pan? And so I was just like, yeah. I used to call quesadillas quesadilla.
That's funny at least though.
Oh yeah, I used to pronounce stuff like so wrong, like all the time. I mean, I used to call like hot dogs hot dogs, like when I was younger, stuff like that. Like I'd be like, I love people. You know what I love? Like I love accents though. I mean, it's like so awesome because I have like some friends, guys, that like I freaking love them to death. Like their accent is so funny though. Like my one friend, like he's from like United Kingdom, and he has like that sexy freaking like United Kingdom accent.
I love the British accent.
Oh my god, and the one day he was just like, I want to tell you that I just am so in love with Nicholas, and he is just like so amazing. And I was just like, oh my god, I was like, dude, your freaking accent is freaking awesome. Like, we say Nick, he was just like Nicholas. I love him. I was like, oh my god. Yes.
Oh no, when the dry cleaner that we used to go to, I don't remember where they were from, but the accent, like she would always call me Nicholas. Always.
Oh, I love people from the UK.
It's just crazy. But speaking of other crazy stories, Izzy, you and I were talking about a viral sensation through TikTok. And I think and by the way, I think I talked Izzy into doing a video of this video that I'm about to talk about. So if everyone was on Twitter or Facebook or TikTok, there was a video that went around with a guy on a skateboard. And he was drinking a full bottle of Ocean Spray cranberry juice.
Yes, he was. And he was on a skateboard. And let me tell you something. That brother has done such a phenomenal job with that you have people now, guys. I saw actually people were on a skateboard having like a little glass of alcohol. This one guy had a freaking big bottle of Mrs. Butterworth's freaking syrup.
That was disgusting.
Wasn't that crazy?
No, but I saw alcohol, like you said. I saw coffee, which is the one that you need to do. I think you need to get on a skateboard, get like a large thing of iced coffee. And that's going to be our way to get our first sponsor for this show. Uh-oh, what are you doing?
Freedom.
Hey, turn the music off. You're gonna get us flagged.
Oh, maybe not though, because maybe Fleetwood Mac's gonna hear us, and then maybe we're gonna get a freaking deal. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the song. By the way, like you told me, Izzy, and I saw the story. Did you see that Fleetwood Mac song went #1 based on the amount of times that song was played after that? I was like, holy! It was a Billboard #1.
Yeah, and it's amazing. But see, that guy has I don't think he really knows. Like, he has a lot of stuff on the way for him that's good, because there's been a lot of situations like that, guys, to where like people have like repeated, or people have like used other people's songs, and they were able to blow them up so big to the level to where, like, I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna get himself probably $1 million deal soon.
Well, wait a minute. Before you go there, let's explain what happened after the video. So after the video goes viral on TikTok, everyone starts doing it. There's views up the wazoo. Well, most people don't know is that the guy had no transportation. That's why he was riding a skateboard to work every day. So,
yeah, drinking that delicious cranberry juice, and I mean,
I got to try Ocean Spray. I've never had it. I've had cranberry juice. I've had cranberry juice, but I've never had Ocean Spray. Anyway, so that video comes out. It goes viral, and Ocean Spray reaches out to. Do we have a name for the guy? Like, do we know what his name is?
Yeah, actually, let me get his name right now. Actually, though, yeah.
While you're looking that up, I'll continue to tell the story. So that goes viral. Ocean Spray reaches out to this guy, and I want to get his name because it's important. Well, or not important, but it's just I think the guy deserves a lot of credit for the video.
Oh yeah, definitely. And his name is Nathan Opodika.
Wow, that's a last name. And
God bless him, bro.
Ocean Spray reaches out, gets him a brand new car. And what did you tell me, Izzy? A year's supply of Ocean Spray?
A year's supply of cranberry juice. Yes. Yeah, they gave him in the back trunk. And it was a brand new Nissan that they gave him to. I'm telling you, this guy, he thinks that this is over. And it's really not, though, because Fleetwood Mac himself did a video of him on that skateboard, and I'm telling you, he's going to get a deal with some kind of content company for this now, because he now has not only that song Dreams have went big on the charts though, but now you have the other song like Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies.
Well, you saw the guy from Fleetwood Mac actually did a side-by-side video with him, right?
Yeah, he has a lot of big deals coming for him. He has no clue what's about to happen to his life.
It's amazing. And it's amazing to me how people can become famous now. Like 10, 15, 20 years ago, you had to know the right people. Now you can go on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and really blow this all up if you get to the right audience. And it's unbelievable to me what this guy has done.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And I mean, it's just like, it's phenomenal to the level too, to where like he has so many people that are just like, yeah, following his lead. And because you know what it is, the vibe was just so right. I think when he like had that one part that went,
I love that part. That part was really cool.
Oh yeah, like what? Because he like looked up in the air and like that vibe was just, man, I was like, oh man, I was like, bro, get it, man. Like that was just so freaking funny.
That was the part where him and the Fleetwood Mac, one of the singers, that's when they did the part together, wasn't it? At that part?
Oh gosh, yeah.
That was unbelievable to me. The way, like I said, unfortunately, I don't know if you saw the news like way back that TikTok is pretty much getting banned in the US. Did you see that?
Yeah, wasn't that like so crazy though? But I think they're just doing that though because of like.
Well, they're afraid of China stealing everybody's information, but I'm going to stay away from that topic. But basically, TikTok has made a lot of people famous in ways that you wouldn't even think of. Like people have become, what do they call them? TikTok celebrities or TikTok.
And they're making a lot of money. This one girl's like freaking 18 years old. And she makes like freaking, I think, like $2 million a year off of TikTok. And all she does actually is just like eat. Like there's some people
what?
Sit there and eat big ass chicken legs and make freaking.
Wait, what?
They do stuff like that, and they
$2 million a year just to eat chicken wings. Hey, Izzy, that sounds like the perfect business for you to be in.
What? I said, I might have to call freaking A1, that steak sauce company though, because or after Kraft. See, you know what I would do though? I should actually get like a Kraft bottle because I love eating chicken legs.
We should do a viral video where you just eat wings and see if they'll sponsor a video.
I actually should actually. That's actually a good idea. Maybe I'll go upstairs and make some now and get some of that delicious, and I mean just delicious honey barbecue, Kraft sauce.
You should do a viral video. Like we'll post it on our page and we'll do it that way.
Yeah, we should actually. That'd be pretty cool. I think it should though, but I love barbecue sauce. Oh, that's one of my favorite condiments. That and freaking ketchup. Child, I'm telling you, I have been actually. It's funny because I was talking to like one of my friends earlier about like some stuff that I did back in the day though that kind of made my stomach like go whoop.
Oh,
and I was like, uh-oh.
You told me this story. Wait a minute. Did you tell me this a few days ago that you had a stomach issue with something?
I did, because what I
was
did
it? I don't remember.
So this was actually a couple months ago. Well, actually not a couple months ago. This is about 2 years ago. Because see, if you're from New Jersey, we have something called pork roll / Taylor ham.
Ooh.
And Taylor ham is so freaking good though. I mean, I went and got 2 cases of it, or 2 little boxes of it for like $8 from ShopRite. And it's like cut off very oh, there goes another little, sorry. There was a little update actually on the screen. And I actually I got because what you do with the Taylor ham is you can put it on a plate, or actually in a frying pan, I should say, and get like a little like olive oil and just you kind of fry it up a little bit. And what you do with that, it tastes so good with freaking pancakes or like French toast or waffles. It's like a great breakfast food that people eat. And I remember the one day I had about like 16 slices of that with some of that delicious Aunt Jemima syrup, child.
Oh my God.
So good. And yeah,
that was the end of your day right there, I bet.
There was some bad situations that ended up going down after I ate 18 slices of pork roll and Taylor ham with Aunt Jemima's delicious syrup, because all I can tell you is about an hour later when my stomach went boop boop, I was like, oh, we got problems.
This is going to sound cliche, but you probably went, oh crap, no pun intended.
Yes, and I was just like, dude, like I have issues going on, and I mean I have major issues.
I have to tell the viewing audience here that this man's eating, and I've seen it over the past 3 years. Some of the food that he's brought to the radio station, my favorite is especially the frozen bag of vegetables.
Wait, why do you like that so much?
It's just funny. It's just funny because back in the when our station offices were at 2 Penn Plaza above Madison Square Garden.
Those are the days, man. Those were our old stomping grounds.
You would take over from me on Friday night, and all of a sudden I see him walk in with 2 bags of frozen vegetables, and I'm like, what the F is going on here? Like, and quite literally, that Izzy can back me up. That's what I would say when I'd see those vegetables come in. And
they're great vegetables. I mean, they're freaking 50 cents at ShopRite.
Man, you're plugging away for free tonight, aren't you?
I mean, they're only like $1 in bags or something like that.
But I'll never forget. So Izzy says, well, I have the frozen vegetables, and I have, by the way, your mom's a really good cook, because I see some of the food that she sends with you. Your mom's amazing, food-wise.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's pretty good.
Like, you would show me some of this food, and I'm like, holy crap, how do you eat all this food?
Oh, yeah, she's done a pretty good job with, yeah. She's done a pretty good job with that, actually. She really has been.
But I would just laugh, because I'm like, how does he eat all this food? If I tried to eat all that food, I'd literally, like, pass out during my shift sleeping, eating all that food.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you though. I mean, well, I actually have before though. Like, there's been moments to where I've almost passed out from like eating like so much food, guys. And I mean, we're talking about so much to the level where, well, I had one time actually that was like really, really, and I mean really like out of control though. Because I remember like I was at like the Chinese buffet.
Oh no.
And actually, oh my gosh, I can't believe we've been out here for almost 45 minutes though. But I'll tell you this one last story though. I was at the Chinese buffet, and this was like for my 18th birthday party.
Oh no.
And actually, maybe my 16th birthday party. I remember my uncle was here with us, and my uncle Jeff was here. My friend Anthony was here with me, and he came out with me. And then I was there, my grandma was there, my mom was there. So we were on our way to the Chinese buffet. The first thing that happened was our antenna was snapped off on our car because the way we had like an old school freaking like 1999 Buick Regal, and you know those old school Buicks. So when you hit bumps and stuff, the hydraulics go up and down. Freaking the cars are so great. I love them so much. I wanted to soup one up, and I remember like I ended up putting a fork actually in the back to where the antenna was so the radio can work because it wasn't working at all because the antenna was snapped, but the fork worked, and it worked out pretty good. So we got to the buffet, and then my uncle didn't even notice that. And so like we got there and he looked in the rearview mirror and he was like, Isaiah, is that a freaking fork in the antenna? And I was just like, yes, it's making the radio work. And he was like, that is so freaking ghetto. He was like, we rolled around with a fork in the antenna area. I was like, yeah, we did.
Instead of that, like, you know how the Batman had the bat signal, Izzy had the fork for the eating signal.
Yes, I did. And I was Haunty, I ate freaking 6 plates of food at the buffet the one day. I definitely got my money's worth, and I ate freaking 6 bowls of ice cream.
Wait a minute, I got to tell that story really quick because you and I talked about buffets the other day. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, you have a friend, right, that goes there and just eats everything he wants.
Well, no, you and I had the discussion about how I'd be their target customer because I can't eat unlimited plates at a buffet. I'd be the worst. Like, I could probably eat 2 plates, I'd be done. Like, you, on the other hand, you could probably just be a human garbage disposal, just eat everything.
Waste management right here. Oh, and on that note,
wait a minute. Excuse me as I'm choking myself up here. I'm serious though. Like, I'd be the worst type of buffet customer in the entire world. Like, if I walked into a buffet, they'd say, yes, we'll make our money. And when you walk in, they're just like, oh, we're gonna lose all our money just because he's gonna eat everything.
Oh, they know me at the one by my house. So
that's not good. A buffet shouldn't know you.
He gets so excited. Oh, he gets so excited. And I mean, this one guy is like, hey, my brother, how are you? And this is how crazy it is because I get the calamari because they have this delicious fried squid and calamari there. And let me tell you, when I go by there and it's all out though, like he sees me over there waiting for it and I don't even ask. Like he just goes by and he's just like, more coming, we going to get it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm just like, I said, the service here is.
Wait a minute. Is that the same calamari that you bring to the radio station or no?
It is. That's the same calamari that I made all of our coworkers.
That our coworker goes absolutely crazy for when you bring it.
Oh my gosh! I remember the one time.
Shout out.
Shout out to our coworker Bruce. I love Bruce.
Oh man, he's the best.
I work with him on the weekends at
So do I. Yeah.
And so do you, Nick. And I remember the one weekend, like I bought that food in, and we were sitting in the studio, and it was like kind of quiet. Like we started we were doing a show together. I think we were doing it might have been one of the doctor shows on the weekends, and then I remember Bruce looked over at me and he was like, hey man, that freaking food that you got, dude, last night. I said, that was so freaking good. Like I couldn't stop eating that freaking fish. I said, food was so good that I freaking almost didn't even wash my hands before I started eating there.
Don't say that now. Don't say that now.
I was just like, oh, but that was, a year and a half ago, but that was before all of this ended up starting. But I was like, whoa, I said that food is that, but I've had a lot of moments like that to where food has been so good and it's been in front of me to where guys, I didn't even freaking wash and this is kind of crazy to say this, but there's been times where I almost haven't even washed my freaking hands either.
Don't say that now, Izzy. You're going to scare the crap out of people right now.
I know they're going to be like, I said, you got to do it. Wash your hands. I remember one time too, though, It's so funny. Actually, speaking about washing their hands, it's just so hilarious.
No.
I have cousins like that too, and I love them to death. But I remember the one day, like my grandma used to be like that too. Like when I would come in from playing outside, like she would hear me open the freaking refrigerator, and she would like, Isaiah, whatever you do, make sure you wash your hands.
You definitely did
like,
not.
Yes, Graham, I'm going.
You definitely did not. I'm telling you that right now. He definitely did not.
I did. No, I did. I used to wash them all the time. Yeah.
That's so funny because like when I walk in now to the house here, my parents will say to me, because they think I'm like COVID induced, like when I walk, because coming back from the city back and forth, and before I could sit down and eat, Nick, you better go shower. I'm like,
we're gonna actually do a video one day about that too. Stuff that your parents say, because I got to get a list with that. Though,
I could get that too. Some of the things I don't know if I could say some of the things if it's classy for this show, but we'll see.
We'll just go on there and say maybe actually we'll do that tomorrow, because we are going to, by the way, be on to make up for a show not having you, not talking to you last week. We're going to be talking tomorrow night. And
you know what? We might have a guest tomorrow because our former coworker, not going to say it yet, has a new podcast coming out. He used to work with us at the radio station. And I said we'd have him on, and actually he's already done a few interviews. Not going to say who they are. There's some really good ones in there. But he has his first couple episodes, and I'm going to talk to him and see if he'll. He was on. Actually, you know what? I might as well just say his name because he was on with us before. Jerry Barmash, who is our good friend and colleague. I'm going to see if he can join us tomorrow because he's getting ready to release his new podcast, which is called "Here Now the News."
Here Now the News. I love that. That's like so freaking awesome.
It's very like it's very like old fashioned news sounding. Here Now the News. Like you need one of those what do they call them? Like old fashioned like pitch salesman voices to do it. Here Now the News. Yeah,
one of those people you work at like the auction places and here now. Why should they talk too fast though? Because I don't understand. Do you ever understand what those people say? There's like, hey, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm just like, damn.
There's one of those shows on History Channel where they go into the storage units and they have the guy who speaks really fast. 100 200 sold. I'm like, what the that happened? Like, how do they do that? And then like you just see hands going up and down when they're making their bids. All right, 200 here, 200 250 275 300 350 400 sold. I'm like, whoa. That reminds me of the FedEx commercial. The guy who can speak, he's the fastest speaker to per words per minute. He spoke 160 words a minute.
That's crazy. I can't even. Oh my gosh.
Can you think speaking 160 words a minute? Think about that. I'll give you an example that'll help understand it. 60 word. We're talking about radio commercial copies. That's what you and I know best. 60 words is 30 seconds, and 120 words is a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's the average typical minute is 120 words. So think about that. 160 words in a minute. That's more than a minute copy that would be done on our radio station.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
So, all right. I think we've bugged people enough. It's almost 54 minutes on here.
It is actually. It's actually midnight too, which means that it is almost October 15th, 2020. And on that note, brothers and sisters, this has been another episode of the Nick and Izzy Show. And catch us actually tomorrow night.
Later today now. Later today.
But later today, we'll make an announcement on the page. And if you wouldn't mind following our page, Nick and Izzy,
liking our page,
Facebook, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And we'll talk to you very soon, actually. And have a blessed evening tonight, though. And just remember to hashtag Izzy loves you.